fun with code, but also replaces that boring parts of the coding job. And it also enables the developer to concentrate more on other important things of the building a solution for a company, or building solution for yourself. So yeah, that's what no code is. That's a little background I wanted to give behind before we start about discussing more about what no code can do. And yeah, one of the important things with no code is that it lets you focus on the problem, the utility of an app. So if you're building a marketplace, or if you're build a marketplace like um, uh, uh, like where you can connect a freelancer with a someone with a company who is seeking freelancers. That's generally like Fiverr.com. If you can build a marketplace like that, you can actually concentrate on making sure the user experience is better, the service is better, etc., instead of focusing on the landing page or the code behind that landing page, or working on bugs that doesn't actually move the needle to your revenue. So this is what no code can do for you, that it lets you focus on the problem instead of small things. And how can you get started with no code? Before going after how can you get started with no code, let me give you some context. I am a programmer as well. I know how to write program Python code. I was a junior data scientist before I joined as a growth marketer. So yeah, when I started learning Python or HTML or CSS or JavaScript, that kind of languages, I didn't have an end goal in my mind. All I wanted to do was build a skill set where I can tell to others that yeah, I can write Python program, or any programming language. So that was my end goal, just learning how to program in a certain language. But with no code tools, it's not like that. You cannot go and just say I know how to go through the bubble app, and I know how to move things inside the bubble app. That's not how it works with no code tools. You have to have an end goal in your mind when you start with no code tools. Like, I want to build an app, I want to build a product, I want to bring this app into existence so I can get make money out of it, or help people by using that app, etc. So I will give you case studies on how people approached no code tools later. But yeah, when you start using no code tools, it's better to have an end goal in your mind instead of just blindly diving into these very hundreds of no code tools. Nowadays there are like hundreds of no code tools just to build a landing page. So when you have an end goal in mind, it becomes clear on which app you should use. Should you use very beginner friendly no code tools, or should you go for something as complex as bubble.io? So that's where you can make a decision on how deep you want to go with no code tools. And yeah, no code tools can quickly become overwhelming because, like I said, it's fairly new field for all the no code developers and the traditional developers. But there's been almost 100 plus 200 plus no code tools so far. And it becomes overwhelming when you want to choose which tool you want to master, which tool you want to start working with. So yeah, it's like I said, it's important to have an end goal in mind, backtrack where you want to be and where you want to start, and then start using those no code tools. And what I meant by having an end goal in mind is that, let's say you want to build a directory where you can directly, like a job board. You want to build a job board and you have a bunch of data with you, where you have it on either Google Sheets or Excel or Airtable. Now you want to convert that list of rows into an actual app where people can click through and apply to the job, and just email you about the job, or put a job application on your website itself, for something in for something paid, like a paid. You can also do it as a paid product. And which tool do you want to use for that? For a job directory, you can use Softer, Airtable, a website like a no-code tool like Softer and Airtable. And if you want to build a web app, complete web app, like a traditional how a traditional app works, then you can go for something like as complex as Bubble, or something better than Bubble. And if you want to build a mobile app where you can go and list it on Apple Store or Google Play Store, then you can go for something like Adalo. Or if you don't want to go place it on App Store or Play Store, then you can just go for Glide App. So there are many options when you want to build a no-code tool. It's just that you have to go with an end goal in mind, so that you can make the best out of these tools. While I'm talking, if you have any questions, please feel free to send messages in the chat. Um, yeah, Here
Yeah,
are the ideas. Yeah.
yeah, you can continue. You can continue. You can
Yes.
continue. Sure.
Here are the ideas you can consider while building the something with no code marketplaces. I introduced myself as a growth marketer at Swapstack, and I did not introduce what Swapstack does. So Swapstack is a marketplace where we connect newsletter creators with advertisers and brands who want to sponsor these newsletter creators. So it's like we are a medium between newsletter creators and the advertisers, and we connect these people, these two sides of the marketplace, through an app called Swapstack, and we make it possible using a no-code tool or a visual building tool called Bubble. So that's one of the marketplaces ideas I can give you, and it's just like Uber, DoorDash, Airbnb. You can also build listing directories with no-code tool like Zillow, and dashboard social networking apps like Twitter, booking apps, personal finance tools if you're into that, and job boards. And I'm also going to give you a few resources where you can go through few business ideas you can build with with the no code today. So this is the blog post. I'll share this link, this whole document later, so you can go through that. But yeah, these are the examples I wanted to I wanted you to know that you can build some with no code tools. Um, and yeah, which tool is called as a no-code tool? I mean, nowadays the term no-code has become kind of a buzzword. So everywhere you see, they use what you call, they position themselves as a no-code tool, saying that we do everything without code. You don't have to use any code to use our tool. So they market their idea as a no-code tool because it has become a buzzword. But it's important to understand what a no-code tool is and what a no-code tool is not. So traditionally, even nowadays Excel spreadsheet is also called a no-code tool because it doesn't use any no-code. But that doesn't mean spreadsheet is a no-code tool. So a no-code tool is something that something like a web app, or you can build a web app or mobile app that's traditionally built with a programming language like Python or something else, JavaScript or something else. And it also traditionally requires a developer to have some kind of minimum programming skills to build that tool. So if I want to build Swapstack with an app, I need to know JavaScript. I need to build, if I want to build a landing page, I would need to know minimum skills of HTML, CSS, and a bit of JavaScript as well. So if I want to replace all of that with a no-code tool, then with a tool, then I have to go for a no-code tool. So that's something traditionally built with code, which I replaced with a no-code tool where I don't have to write any code at all. So that's called no-code tool. But there are tools like other add-ons to these no-code tools that are also kind of considered as no-code tools, and that's where Notion comes in. Notion is totally, completely not an O portal, but I could say that it is an add-on. And yes, you can actually you can use it as an O portal, but it should come with some other tools like I mentioned here super.so. So what super.so does is it takes your Notion database or Notion pages, and you can create websites with those pages and databases. You don't have to write any code for that. And yeah, there's a pricing and everything for this, but what it does is it takes your Notion page and you can move things around in the Notion, and the super.so makes sure it looks like an actual website to the end users. So yeah, with tools like super.so and further.so is another Notion CMS based project where you can build a blog using Notion. So yeah, with tools like this, you can use Notion as a no-code tool to build a website, to build a blog, to build a directory as well. So yeah, Notion is kind of an add-on, not exactly a no-code tool. And it started as a project management tool where you can, where you can manage a project, like what's the status of the project and how far you have come, and the documentation around that project. That's how the Notion started. But it became so flexible that it went beyond just a project management tool. And that's why since it was it was so flexible, I was able to use it to build my info product called Writing OS. So that's the reason why few people confuse Notion with being a no-code tool and being an add-on to a no-code tool. And I hope we are clear with that. But let me know if you have questions, and I can answer that. Um, And yeah, I would like to share some resources as well. There's a no-code cheat sheet. I think here I mentioned, yeah, what no-code tools we should start with. So here I mentioned here beginner-friendly no-code tools, which I have used in the past, and which most people who start with no-code also find it really easy to get started with, because there's not much to learn. And if you're a developer already, you pretty much know how to go through these tools, and you can easily understand how to build a website or build an app through these tools. But there is also a cheat sheet I wanted to share with you. It's built by one of my favorite no code people in this field right now. So you can get resources for the case studies, how you can start with building a app, and any free tutorials all are listed here, so you can go through them. And these are the beginner friendly tools like Card. I use Card like with an yearly subscription, where you can start building a website, and you can just mention you can build a portfolio through Card, and you can also build a proper landing page with just using Card. And Doric is another website or landing page builder. But it also goes beyond that by letting you display a list of rows like a spreadsheet into a beautiful app. So you can use Doric for that. Software is another favorite tool for building internal for we use internal building tools like Software in our company, in Swapstack. We're just using Airtables. So yeah, you can just browse through this and see what you can create with just an Airtable or just a spreadsheet. Yeah, you can go through all of them later, but I just wanted to give you a kind of review on what you can start with, and how you can start. And there are other resources like 100 Days of No Code. I'm pretty sure you already are aware of 100 Days of Code hashtag on Twitter, where people talk a lot about, I mean, when people start try to learn a new programming language or something like that, it's the same with no code as well. If you're trying to learn no code for the first time, and if you want to connect with the no code community, you can start using this hashtag on Twitter. And the founder behind this, Max, can also help you with all these resources he has put on the website. Most of them is free, but there's also a paid community which you can join for some tries. But yeah, most of the case studies, examples, tools, resources you can use are free on this website. uh, and yeah, there's another community called MakerPad. This also lists all the tutorials you can use, or you can start learning to build a website or something like that without writing code. And yeah, no code MBA, I use this. This is one of the websites created by one of the swap stack users. And studies on how you can earn money through a Moco tool, what you can build with Moco tool. I mean, what websites are profitable using Moco tools. So there are a lot of case studies you can go through late, but yeah, this is one of the best resources for case studies and what people are doing with Moco tools and how they are earning through Moco tools. And to start with, you can with. Um, yeah, add-ons, like I mentioned, Notion is one of them, and there is also Coda. Coda is very similar to Notion. I wouldn't suggest this before you use Notion, because to me it's a bit complex. But if you're comfortable with Notion, I'm pretty sure you can pick up Coda as well. And you can use Coda just like you use Notion to build, info products and sell them on the marketplace or Gumroad or anywhere. And another add-on tool which you can use is Taliform. So traditionally, you have to have some kind of subscription or something like that to collect subscribers or to collect emails using different tools, different email tools. But with tools like Taliform or Typeform, you can easily collect these submissions. And yeah, this is the newsletter sign up I use on my website. So far, 450 news submissions. And I automate this by, I mean, I get these subscribers in my Taliform, but I automate sending it to my actual email platform through Zapier and or through Integromat. So those are the no code automation tools I use to integrate between two apps. I don't write any code to send data from this app to another app. So that's one other cool case study you can start with if you're getting into automation. So that's one example. And yeah, Typeform, I'm pretty sure it's just like Taliform, but a little complex, I guess. So I would suggest you to start with either Notion or Taliform if you're going with something like this. And yeah, so far we have talked about what is no code and how people have built apps using no code. But why should one choose no code tools? I mean, when we can code, why do someone has to go for a no code tool, right? So in a world where time has become money. I mean, time is equivalent to money, not exactly money, but yeah. So when you have an idea as a business person or as a founder, as a first time founder, when you have an idea, you want to validate it faster so that you understand whether there's market for it or not. Can you make money out of your idea? That's what you want to validate. Are people willing to use your tool, whatever you're going to build in the future? Are people willing to use it or not? So you want to validate it faster. Without actually, I mean, it is better, I mean, much better if you can validate it without actually building the app itself. And but that's not possible in most of the cases. most cases, because people want to see the app, use the app, and then judge your app whether they want to use it or not, right? So when you have an idea which takes a lot of days, months, years to build an app, then it becomes harder and harder to validate it, because it's not in front of the audience as sooner as you want. So that's where no code comes in, where you can iterate the app or build an app faster, validate it faster, or fail faster, to understand whether your idea is good for the market, or whether your idea is good for the people, or whether you can make money out of your idea or not. So that's where no code tool shines. You can validate your ideas faster as a first time founder, as a creator, as a solopreneur. So I would say, if you have an idea like I want to build an app, just go for a no code tool, see what, build something with it, like an MVP, minimum viable product, where you can ship something faster, and then see if the people who want to use actually want to use or not. So that's the one of the reasons why you can choose no code tools, and that's how we started with Swapstack as well. It was initially built with just an a table. A table is nothing but a fancy spreadsheet or fancy Google Sheets with a little bit of automations built into it. So yeah, a table, we used a table and some other no code landing page tool to connect the um, advertisers with newsletter creators. So we validated the idea, we saw that the revenue is coming in. So we went ahead and built the actual app with a more complex no code tool. We still did not go out of no code, even though we are making a lot of revenue. I'll share the revenue numbers at the end as well. But yeah, so far is hundreds of thousands of dollars exchanged between creators and the advertisers. But we are still using the no code tool called Bubble, because we saw that we want to iterate faster. At this stage, we still want to iterate faster, and we want to build the features faster. It traditionally wouldn't be possible so fast with the code, if we go for the code. So that's the reason why we are still sticking with no code. And I'll discuss later when people can transform from a no code tool to a coding tool. Yeah, let's start with case studies. Writing OS. This is built by me. Let me show you the website. It's a very what you call early draft, or early draft of landing page. I built this in 24 hours, so I did not do a great job, but still I did something. And I'll share the revenue numbers. But yeah, before sharing, I will just list down the tools I used to build this. The landing page which you're seeing right here is built with card. I mentioned this previously. Card.co is the website. You can go and check it out. It's really simple. It's one of the simplest tools I have seen for building card. It's just a drag and drop feature, like WordPress. Even WordPress is not drag and drop, but yeah, this is literally a drag and drop app, where you can drag the embed forms, or you can drag the text fields onto the website page, and you can start building it. I'll show you if you want, but once the case study talk is done, I'll show you how card tool works, or any tool how any tool works. But yeah, let me know if you want to see how these tools work. I started with pricing this product as $1. Now it's around $15. And the revenue numbers, yeah, when I launched this writing OS, I literally launched with no budget at all, not even this card page. I used flurry.com for my I used Flurry. It's similar to Gumroad, completely similar. The only difference is they let you keep 99% of your revenue. They don't take too much percentage, only 1% of what you earn is what they take. So I went with Flurly, and it's, let me show. Yeah, this is the landing page I used. when I launched Writing OS. And yeah, I started with $1. I started with $1, sold 10 copies, then $10, then 15. Now it's 15, and almost 16, 15 to 16 copies sold out. So in total, I sold around 60 copies, just using this landing page and this card landing page. But for almost like 10 copies and almost like 10 to 15 copies, I only used this one. I haven't built any landing page before I actually earned some revenue. So this was done as part of a course I was taking called Frugal MVP. It was to build faster. It was to build something faster with no code tools. So I launched this in 24 hours, and I earned $180 within 24 hours of that MVP launch. I can share the tweet thread or the whole tweet thread later. But yeah, so far, I mean, in the first 24 hours, I made $180, and so far, since the end of January 2022, or the beginning of February, I earned 600 plus. I don't do active marketing for this tool. Like every day, I don't post on Twitter saying buy my product because I don't have time for it. But if I did have time for it, I'm pretty sure I would have earned more than 1,000 so far. But yeah, with no active marketing, with only no code tools, and with almost $0 budget, and the card landing pay, this card subscription is like around $9 per year, not even monthly, per year. So it's not even $1 per month. So yeah, with such low budget, I was able to earn more than $600 through this info product alone. And let me show you how that product actually looks like. So this is the Writing OS, and Writing OS. Let me explain what Writing OS is actually about. Yeah, here is the picture. Yeah, so writers usually aren't consistent with posting their work online, right? So either they have writer's block, or they run out of ideas, or they don't know how to start writing, they don't have a template to make it easier for them to write. So these are the problems writers face. So I built an info product, or kind of a dashboard actually, where writers can come, and if they have ideas, they can just log their ideas in this Writing OS dashboard, and they can start working on them using writing templates, etc. Let me walk you through that. Yeah, here's a plan and write section where you can, you know, create ideas or go through your ideas. Just list down all your ideas, and if you run out of ideas, you can use something called idea generator. Uh, yeah, you have to just enter one topic, and it will generate all this. Let me show you marketing. So when I entered marketing, it automatically created all these ideas for me. These are the block titles actually. So you can use these block titles as ideas to write an article, etc. So in this way, there are like almost 10 templates. You can use 10 listicle ideas for a blog post, 10 how to ideas, 10 other case studies you can use. So this is the idea and thinking hub, and the actual place to write, to work on your ideas, is the one. And I connect these with other databases, like adding ideas and notes, and this is the actual blog post you can use. And there are several templates I use to write these blog posts. I'll show you the templates. Yeah, here's the template where you can use listicle, how to, case study. So this template will be automatically created whenever you click on new listicle, and the writer can directly go to an outline and write an outline. Once they are done, they can come to first draft and create their draft, etc. So this is the complete kind of writing dashboard, or a writing solution for the writers who are not exactly consistent with their writing. And they do have templates, topics, and other platforms. They can keep track of their writing, and the tools, all the tools. I generally use, and other writers generally use, are listed under tools and tips section, and also monetization strategies, etc. Can also be accessed here. Monetization strategies, I listed it as a list. So yeah, here you can see all the tools I listed for this, and the swipe file I use for these strategies. And another section would include librarian people, who the people they have to, they can follow if they want to get consistent, and revenue tracker and other milestones. So the idea behind writing OS is to create a dashboard where I can enable writers to consistently use this dashboard to make them write faster, write better, and write efficiently or consistently with this dashboard. And what this dashboard, when it became successful, this gave me an idea to build an actual web app where writers can log in every day, and start writing, whatever they want to write, and they can use several templates which are already pre-built into that web app. And they can post, they can post whatever they have finished on that web app to another website, like their blog or something like that, directly through that web app. And another idea I had was to enable monetization, connect these writers to whoever want to hire these writers. So this dashboard gave me an idea, or kind of MVP, or validated that idea to build that web app. So I used Notion tool to build a dashboard where I enable people to be consistent and everything. So yeah, this is the story behind writing OS, and these are the tools I used to build writing OS. And so far I have earned $600, but I'm planning to improve my marketing strategy for the writing OS, so I'm more consistent with it. But yeah, this is the case study I wanted to discuss with you. And the other case study similar to writing OS, I mean, actually, this was my inspiration behind building a writing OS. Was Newsletter OS. Newsletter OS is built by Janelle. She's also one of the no code, well-known no code person in the community. If you want to follow more no code, if you want to follow the no code community, she's one of the best person to follow. She's also the program director of on deck no code, so she is definitely the person to go to if you want to learn about no code. You can follow her on Twitter, it's channel HTM. And she built a newsletter OS completely again with no code tools. She also used Notion, she used card. This landing page is built without code, without actually writing any code. It's completely built with no card, which I have shown you previously. And so far she has made 50,000. I'm pretty sure this increased. I don't know what's the latest number, but last time I heard it was around $50,000 in September 2022. And she finished her, building this. I think she started in October 2020, and she finished building and launched the project in November or December, around November. She launched the product around November. So she spent around 1 month to actually build this product. And the total monthly cost, according to her blog, which you can read here, the tool stack for my 5-figure info product, it was written by Janelle, and these are the tools she used. There are more tools in this tool stack. I did not mention everything, so definitely go through that stack and see for yourself what tools she used. And the total monthly cost for that, this 5-figure info product was just $35 approximately. And she earns around $4,000, according to her Indie Hackers profile. She earns around $4,000 per month through this product. So yeah, that's another case study. And another important case study is Swapstack. Let me show how that works. Yeah. This is the web app, Swapstack, a premier newsletter advertising marketplace where we connect creators and advertisers for relevant sponsorships. And this is completely built with Bubble without writing any code. You can sign up and go through, see for yourself how it works. But basically, there is a brand gallery, or for advertisers, it is newsletter gallery where they can go through each profile and connect with them using this connect with them through pitching. And we have other features like plug and play, and we integrated our invoice with Stripe software, so everything here is also no code. And tip jar, it's so yeah, this is what I wanted to show for for with Bubble. And as you can see, I earned so far $416. In the same way, there are hundreds of creators who use Swapstack almost every day to to find relevant sponsors for their newsletters, which they publish weekly and daily. And yeah, here are other tools we use besides the Bubble, which I discussed. We also use Airtable, Zapier to for our data needs. We use Airtable. All our data is saved on Airtable. We do have backups, but yeah, Airtable is one of our primary data tools we use to make sure we have that information. And Zapier is where we connect different apps we use with other different apps. So for example, I want to send information from Bubble to Airtable. How do I do that? I do that through Zapier. And if I want to send some subscription form submissions to some other tool, then I use Zapier to connect these two tools. We also used Integromat, or now it is renamed as Make. But yeah, Integromat we use less, but it is also one other automation tool I prefer personally because it's visually very friendly. And also, because of my programming language background, I find it really helpful to use Integromat more than Zapier. Let me just mention that so you can go through it later. Yeah, the cumulative GMV, which since January 2021 is 103,000 so far. In 1 year, newsletter creators earned 836,300 through Swapstack. So this is what a no-code tool, when you scale it properly, can facilitate. This is the amount you can earn, and I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure there are other.
sorry to interrupt. I think we are having 16 minutes left. So
Yeah, it's done. Yeah. So once this is done, I'm almost done. This is the only case study which is left.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So far, this is what you know happens when you use no-code tools in a proper way. And although we did not exactly write code to build Swapstack, we did use the same kind of logic we usually use to build web apps. So the logic, the reasoning, the whole whatever comes with writing code is also applicable to building web apps like this, complex web apps. I mean, so that's why few no-code developers prefer to use the term called visual coding instead of no-code, because there is code involved behind the tool itself, but and there is also a complex logic involved. So that's the reason why people like to use the terms like visual coding or low code instead of no code. So yeah, that's all for now. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer.
yeah, okay.
Is it possible? Okay, I see a question by Okay, there are a lot of questions. Great. Okay, I see a question by Samuel. Is it possible to build a full-fledged e-commerce websites with Notion? No, with Notion it's not possible, but it is possible with other tools like Webflow, Shopify. I think you can use Shopify with for to build an e-commerce website, and you can also use Webflow, which is also a no-code tool, and I think you can also use Bubble, but Bubble is an overkill for an e-commerce website. So I would say go with Webflow or Shopify, or you can just simply search for e-commerce websites with no-code tools. You will get a lot of examples. Can this work well using a smartphone? I don't know what you mean by can this work well? Okay, Notion app actually, and few creators who build on Notion, like I build on Notion, like templates and everything. They do make sure these apps are easy to use on the mobile app as well. So it actually depends on the creator who should make it mobile friendly to use. So I would say it depends on the creator to make sure it is easily used on the mobile app as well. And yes, it is possible if you can make it create properly. Can you web app build? Can video web app? Can you explain that last question?
Yeah, what is trying to pass across there is like websites where you can buy airtime, uh, pay electricity bills. So that's what we call VTU web apps.
Is that electricity? Can you repeat that?
It's more or less like a platform where you can buy airtime, recharge your data subscription, pay for electricity bills and all other bills that are possible. Re-
Um.
so
Okay. 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 I'm not familiar with that, but I guess if you can, go through the case studies, where you might probably find something similar to it, where you can build with a no-code tool. But
okay,
yeah,
okay,
I haven't so far. I haven't seen something like VTU
okay,
web app.
okay,
But definitely, it might be possible with Bubble if you can just go through the website once.
okay. So there's another question here by
Yeah.
Elijah Edun. Are there plugins to use with Notion?
Yes, plugins. I I currently Notion doesn't have a marketplace, like how Chrome has a marketplace for making sure all developers post their plugins on Chrome plugin. So like that, Notion doesn't have a marketplace yet. But I have seen people creating their own Notion plugins, like Notion embed forms. Chilipepper.com is one of the Notion plugins. You could say they use Notion as one of the as their tools to make sure you can accept subscribers through the Notion itself. So yeah, there are plugins, and I can share it later if you want. But yeah, definitely there are plugins to use with Notion.
Okay, okay. I think
Any other question? Yeah, will we get the link to the slide? Yes, I will share the link to this, so Malik can send to you all links.
okay. So I think that's all. I think okay. Initially we ought to have a workshop, but I think the time is up. So looking at looking at somebody that has a Notion software now and is trying to spin up one or two things, what apart from the resources you've shared in the slide, what will you advise such an individual to pick up first? Okay, I've gotten an idea of what I want to build with Notion as a no code tool. So
Mhm.
there should be things like maybe the templating, the sorting, and changing the views of template, whether in table, in a tabular form, or in a calendar form. All those sort of features that are available in Notion. How to put them together to form to spin up the idea you have. So
Right, right. So you are essentially asking how do we build something like, writing OS or newsletter OS, right? Like how do we start using Notion so
eh,
that we can build an info
yeah,
product or
yeah.
some other product on Notion. So I would say start with their tutorials. Notion has their own YouTube channel. Using it to the other seats and YouTube or on either on YouTube and you can also when you sign up for Notion, you will see the introduction part of it is like onboarding experience of that Notion. You'll be introduced to the templates of Notion. So when you start using those templates which are pre-built into the Ocean or which they suggest inside their own app, I think that's a good starting point to understand how you can start building templates for yourself. Then you can use templates for others, like a dashboard where you can use the templates to early they started blogs around Notion. Pulin is one of the Notion creators you must follow. I take her course, and that definitely helped me a lot. So once you start, signing up and going through the templates which are already offered by Notion, you'll get a better understanding of that.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for taking us, and we really appreciate. So is there? So let me just ask: is there any question? Who has a question that wants to ask? You can just ask now. We still have
Yeah,
16 minutes. Yeah, sorry, 6 minutes left.
yeah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Or if you don't have any questions right now,
Okay,
you
I
can
think
always,
somebody's okay.
Okay, I
yeah,
have a
please.
question. Yeah.
Yes.
For example, if I'm about in the process of building a website, using WordPress, is there a way I can move the hosting platform?
Okay,
Like changing, it's already hosted. Like I've hosted the website, but I've not finished the building. Can I change the whole thing into Notion?
okay. Sorry, hold on. I think the next speaker, which is Lax, is the one to take the
Oh,
WordPress. Uh,
okay. It's like I'm jumping the gun, Abby.
yeah. So we're actually dealing with Notion and no code with Vidya here.
All right, now, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's we'll take the question later.
So is there anybody else that has a question?
Oh, and if you don't have any questions right now, you can always approach me on Twitter,
Yeah.
Learn with Vidya. So you can ask the questions there also.
Okay, so um, okay, so thank you so much, Vidya. We really appreciate. So I think we can
Yeah.
just move on to the next session that we're having.
Okay.
Okay, I think there's a
Um,
question. Okay, okay,
yeah, there's one question. Contents you're selling. Yeah, currently it is the content I'm selling, but I also started building an app. So once that's done, definitely I will start selling the subscription for the app. But the case study which I have sent, one of the case studies, SwapStack, it is an app. It's not the contents. It's the actual app. which people use, to facilitate between the marketplaces to creators and advertisers. But yeah. Yeah, again, thanks for listening to my talk, and thanks for coming to,